The rain was a frantic drumbeat against the window, but the silence in my apartment was deafening. It had been 3 days since I'd last seen Kellen. 3 agonizing days since he kissed me, his touch almost desperate, his stormy gray eyes hiding secrets I couldn't decipher. "I have to settle this, Leah," he'd said, his voice a low rumble. "One last thing. I should have known better." For a man like Kellen Thorne, one last thing was never simple. He wasn't just a businessman. He was the heir to an empire built in the shadows, where loyalty was currency and debts were paid in blood. My phone suddenly vibrated on the coffee table, a jarring interruption to the quiet storm. It wasn't a call from him. It was a news alert flashing across my screen in stark, bold letters. *** breaking, prominent businessman Kellen Thorne linked to underground empire. Rival figure Marcus Slade found dead in apparent turf war. ***, the room started to spin. My phone slipped from my suddenly numb fingers and clattered onto the floor. I couldn't look away from the screen. The article laid it all out in cold, hard text: the secret life, the vast criminal network, the brutal demise of his biggest rival. There was a photo of Kellen looking devastatingly handsome and powerful in a tailored suit, right next to a gruesome picture of a crime scene, a monster. The words slammed into me, echoing in the empty space where my heart used to be. The man I loved was a monster. A wave of nausea, sharper and more intense than ever before, washed over me. I stumbled to the bathroom, my hand pressed against my mouth. This had been happening for weeks now. The overwhelming fatigue, the weird sensitivity to smells, the morning sickness I'd stubbornly blamed on stress. I mean, dating Kellen was anything but relaxing. But as I knelt on the cold, unforgiving bathroom tiles, a terrifying, beautiful, and undeniable truth finally clicked into place. My eyes darted to the bathroom cabinet. I fumbled for the box I'd hidden there, my hands shaking so badly I could barely open it. A few minutes later, the answer was clear. 2 pink lines. A life. ***, life, growing inside me. Panic, cold and sharp as ice, pierced through the shock. I couldn't tell him. How could I? After this? He would just pull us deeper into his world of darkness and violence. This child, our child, would become just another piece on his chessboard, another possession in his dangerous game. No, I had to protect this tiny, fragile future. I had to run. The rest of the day was a blur. I moved like a ghost in my own apartment, packing a single bag with frantic, silent efficiency, my aunt's place. It was out of state, far from this city, far from him. I would just disappear. I zipped the bag shut, the sound unnaturally loud in the silence, and then a knock. Not a polite tap, but a hard, commanding sound that seemed to shake the entire doorframe. My blood ran cold. I knew who it was. My body trembled as I walked to the door, my hand hovering over the lock. Taking a shaky breath, I pulled it open. He stood there, a dark silhouette against the dim hallway light. He was soaked to the bone, rain plastering his dark hair to his forehead, his expensive suit jacket hanging open. He smelled of the storm, of whiskey, and of something else. Something metallic and sharp, the scent of violence. His knuckles were raw and bruised. And his eyes. Those intense, stormy eyes swept over me, taking in every detail: my pale face, the packed bag sitting by the door, and the raw, unfiltered terror in my expression. "Leah," he breathed, his voice rough and ragged. My own voice was barely a whisper. "Get out." He completely ignored me, stepping inside as if he owned the place, which, in a way, he probably did. The door clicked shut behind him, a sound of soft finality that seemed to suck all the oxygen out of the room. "You saw the news," he said. It wasn't a question. "I saw what you are," I shot back, a tiny spark of defiance flaring up inside me. I saw the monster. I saw something flicker in his eyes then, a flash of deep, genuine pain, but it was gone in an instant, replaced by a cold, hard anger. "Is that what you think of me?" he asked, his voice low and dangerous. "What else am I supposed to think, Kellen? A man is dead. You killed him. He was going to come for you." The words were torn from him, a raw, primal roar that stunned me into silence. He stalked towards me, his movements sleek and predatory. "He knew about you, Leah. He knew you were my weakness. He told his men he was going to take you, to make me watch." His hands came up, gripping my arms, not to hurt me, but to force the truth of his words into me. What was I supposed to do? Negotiate? The breath left my body. He did it for me? I tried to pull away, to put distance between us, and my eyes fell on my packed bag. He followed my gaze and his eyes narrowed into dangerous slits. Going somewhere? He asked, his voice deceptively soft. I can't do this, Kellen. I can't live in this world. Without thinking, my hand went to my stomach, a subconscious, protective gesture I couldn't stop. His gaze snapped to the movement. The anger on his face melted away, replaced by a dawning, almost terrified comprehension. He went utterly still, like a wolf scenting its prey. Laya? He whispered, all the fury gone, his voice now fragile with a desperate, unbelievable hope. What is it? Tears were streaming down my face now, hot and unstoppable. I just shook my head, the words trapped in my throat. His grip on my arms gentled, his hold becoming a cradle. Then, so slowly it felt like a dream, he lowered himself to his knees in front of me. Kellen Thorne on his knees. It was the most shocking thing I had ever seen. He looked up at me, his face a mixture of pure awe and gut-wrenching fear. He placed one large, trembling hand over mine where it rested on my stomach. Are you? He couldn't finish the sentence, his voice breaking. I could only manage a nod, a sob finally breaking free from my chest. A sound escaped him, something between a gasp and a prayer. He pressed his face against my abdomen, his broad shoulders shaking. He wasn't crying, but he was trembling with the force of an emotion too immense for his body to contain. My child, he murmured against my shirt, his voice thick and muffled. You're carrying my child. He looked up then, and his eyes were blazing with a new ferocious light. This is why you were running? You were trying to take my child from me? To protect our child from you asterisk. I cried, the words hanging in the air between us like a physical blow. He actually flinched. He slowly rose to his feet, his entire demeanor shifting. The vulnerability was gone, replaced by a steely resolve. The king was back, but his kingdom had just changed. You will never run from me again, he said, his voice low and absolute. You and this baby, you're my life now. My only life, you can't just decide that. I protested, my voice weak. I can. I have. He stepped closer, framing my face with his hands, his thumbs gently wiping away my tears. You think I'm a monster? Fine, but I will be the monster who lays the entire world at your feet. A monster who will burn down anyone who ever dares to threaten what's mine. He turned, picked up my packed bag, and dropped it dismissively by the door. You're coming home with me, to the estate. It's the most secure place in the city. Kellen, no, he interrupted, his voice softening into a plea that completely shattered my remaining defenses. No more arguments, let me do this, let me protect you. Both of you. His hand returned to my stomach, a gesture of pure, possessive wonder. This is my redemption, Laya, he whispered, his eyes locked on mine. Don't take it from me. He wasn't the mob boss then, or the king of the underworld. He was just a man, staring at his only chance for salvation. And in that moment, I knew. My escape was over. The fear was still there, but something else was growing alongside it. Something that felt terrifyingly like hope. Thank you so much for watching this story unfold. If you were captivated by Laya and Kellen's journey, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what happens next. We love having you here. See you in the next video.